Hi everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Happy Saturday morning. Looking at Ben's Super XL-925. This is a real clean one that came in. His note on this saw was that it would run at high speed only, that it wouldn't idle, and I certainly agree with that, with what I found in here. I was going to take the carb apart, but the first thing I noticed when I took it apart, or took the carb off, was this. There's a custom gasket here that looks like it's some kind of, I don't know, naga hide or leather or something, which that was torn out up by the pulse hole there. So that doesn't surprise me. Is that late model Walbro carburetor? Those are pretty reliable, so I'm not too concerned about it. Might need a kit, might not. Reed valves look okay. I think they'll be alright. But some of the other stuff is no bueno. The first thing I noticed, normally I can take the intake manifold off without pulling the entire air box, but this time around, that upper screw just, spun, was broken off. So there was no way in hell I was going to be able to extract that with throttle handle in place, and it's been broken for a while. You can tell that by the rust there. The shiny was me spinning it around, and you can tell that thing was tightened pretty hard. It's kind of tore out. So, but the real big issue is this whole intake manifold is cracked to beat hell, and it's been filled with something. If I had to take a wild guess, it feels like JB Weld. But I guarantee there's a big ass air leak somewhere in there. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to see about getting that screw extracted, and hopefully I don't have to cuss too loud. And then find an intake manifold, and that should do it for this thing. I mean, like I say, that carburetor might need a kit, but if it does, I don't think I have one on hand. I'll have to order that. It's one of the WJ series. But anyway, I don't know how common this is. It's the first time I've come across that particular series of events here, but I know that these things did have an issue with cracking, especially if they were over tightened. Now these inserts look slightly different than the ones I'm used to seeing, so it may be a late model thing. So anyway, if you have a late model 925, keep an eye out for this if you're trying to diagnose a problem where it only wants to run at high speed. We'll come back when I get a little further. Okay, everybody. You guys are going to watch this live with me. Well, not live, but I'm not going to edit anything out of this. I'm trying to get this damn screw out. I was hoping that there was enough of a head there that it would grip with a pair of vice grips and come out. Well, guess what? It did not. Which, of course, made me so happy. That was not what I was hoping for, but whatever. I went to Harbor Freight. I've been needing a set of reverse drill bits for a while, so I finally got some. And we're going to try those out and see how it works. I don't want to do any more on this thing than I have to. I don't want to create a mess, basically. So I'm going to heat this ahead of time, just a smidge. Obviously, being a magnesium alloy housing, we don't want to get carried away, because having a magnesium fire on the bench seems like a bad idea. But let's go ahead and get this going. My backup plan, if the reverse drill bit doesn't just extract this on its own, is to use the hole that the reverse bit creates and use a regular extractor, easy out. So, I don't know. Make sure no fuel vapor here. Again, that is the back of the fuel tank, so we're not getting carried away here. Fuel tank's empty, obviously, but just not going to do anything stupid if I can avoid that. Try and get a center punch mark here that's on center. That always helps. And close. Well, we're within a 30-second. That'll only become an issue if I've got to drill down in there. Okay, I'm going to shove a rag in here, well, paper towel, whatever, something to catch any debris from that. I'm going to use the 16th inch bit. This is a small screw. And then don't forget, you got to reverse. With a reverse drill bit, that's a bigger one obviously, but note how it's designed to cut in the opposite direction of a normal bit. Theory is the grabbing effect of the bit is going to extract this screw. And I can already tell you that theory is 100% wrong in this case. Wow. Okay. Well, that sucks. Since we're going to go this route, I'm going to put some regular axle grease on top of that towel. That guarantees that pretty much any shavings that go down in there are going to get caught in that grease and not end up in an otherwise good engine. Damn, this sucks. I don't know. I'm going to reduce this drill bit size one size because the 16th is eating so much metal. I'm not sure that my easy out would have anything left to grip to without dinging the threads. And obviously that is not what we want. So like I say, I'll go down a size. That's going to take just about forever. It's a hardened screw for certain. Alright, I lied. I am going to turn this off for now. There's no reason to have you guys watch what could be 5 or 6 minutes of drilling with this thing. So we'll come back when I'm ready to use the easy out. Okay, well here we are again. Let me see if I can get you guys a view of it. I've drilled in about 1/4 of an inch. You can see all the mess that it left behind. I'll stay close for a minute. I'm going to use my smallest easy out, which is this guy here. And that just barely will go in there. I'm going to be up front. I'm not optimistic about this. I see this ending badly, and by that I mean needing to to drill this out all the way and retap it, which is just not something I want to consider, but we'll try it. So I've got it in there nice and tight. Vice grips. Keep your fingers crossed, folks. And so far that's not a good sign. The vice grips want to twist off, so I will use a heavier pair. Go big or go home, right? These ones twist off. That'd be amazing. So far, no good. It's twisting inside. It's not biting. Yeah. Well, that didn't do diddly squat. Alright, that is as tight as it goes. This doesn't work. Yeah. Back to the drawing board. And it did not. Okay. Now that is not what I was hoping for at all. Alright, well, I'm going to kill this thing again, the camera, I mean, because this is going to take a while. I'm going to have to use a large bit. What I'll do is use a large bit, take this down flush, get that hole straightened up as much as I can. Then I'm going to have to try and re-tap this. Ideally what will happen is I'll get it drilled out just below the tap size. And when I go in with the tap, I'll be cleaning the old metal out of the old threads. Yeah. Come back in a little bit, let you know how it went. Okay. Well, that's a nice mess. But I just ran a 8/32 tap down here. So, finished it off. It's drilled. I'm looking down into the hole pretty close to the original angle. I mean, we're really, really close. I think this will work fine, but we'll find out. Finished drilling it out with the smaller bit, which was kind of partially a mistake, because when you go to 1 or 2 size bits higher, it's really rough on your drill bits. But that's what I ended up having to do, is finish it out with a 1/8 inch drill bit, and then ran that 8/32 tap down through there. And I know that it goes the depth of the screw, as it didn't bottom out, which also concerns me greatly. The fact that it didn't bottom out makes me think that those screws are open to the crankcase, and if that is true, we're going to take this cylinder off. No. Oh, that one bottoms. That one bottoms. Damn. I don't know where that goes. I really don't. I'll have to look behind the flywheel. Maybe. See, that or it's going into the oil tank, but that would make no sense to have that there. Anyway, I'm going to do a real good, get this cleaned up, do a good inspection down into here, see if I see one damn metal shaving. I'm going to back up, get the flywheel coil cylinder off, and just flush that whole thing out, just to be sure, because we're not going to go to all this trouble just to have a burr get in there and jam up the piston and ruin a great engine. So, again, I'm going to get this cleaned up, and we'll come back. Okay. Well, I don't have an intake manifold on hand, unfortunately. So I had to test everything with this old piece of crap. But it's holding. So I got those threads at the right angle, thank God. I was concerned about that. I mean, it's one thing if it's my saw. If I screw it up, whatever. That's my problem. Customer saw is a little different. So anyway, I've got the intake manifold on order. I already replaced the reed valve seal here. I've got those in there. So as soon as that thing comes in, we'll get this reassembled and there'll be a test run video. But yeah, that I know I didn't show every step along the way of what I was doing here, but if you've got a critical mount, and an intake manifold is a critical mount, where the screw is broken, all I can say is take your time. If you need a tool you don't have, bite the bullet and go get it, because if you try and shortcut it, you're probably going to end up with something that you throw away. So anyway, we'll move on to the next saw.